All right, welcome everybody tonight to our Zoom class. We're so excited to have everybody on here from whether you're across the street or across the country. We're excited to have you with us tonight. And we're going to talk about a topic that I have been hearing a lot about lately. And it seems like it doesn't matter where you live. Cold and flu season is a hot topic, and people want to stay well and they want to avoid those sick days from work and school. And so tonight we're going to specifically talk about essential oils that we can use during the cold and flu season. And I feel like more importantly is we're going to talk about oils that we can use that will act as a preventative. Let's stay well so that we don't have to worry about getting well. And so I'm really excited for this topic and for the opportunity we have to have so many different choices. That's the beauty of the oils is we're going to present, some of those key oils, but there's also others that we can use and add to and overlap in our essential oil usage. So we're going to talk first about this awesome wellness pyramid, because when we talk about staying well and being well, this is where it begins. And it really is a holistic approach to our health, because it is important that we're eating right and that we're avoiding foods and different things that are going to lower our immune system. It's been said that like 70 to 80% of our immune system is in our gut. And so we want to make sure that we're keeping our digestive system healthy and well. And so eating right is going to be important to staying well. Exercise, moving our body. I don't know about you guys, but man, when we had all those snow days, I felt like a total slug. Like I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to move. I just wanted to sit on the couch and not do a whole lot. But it is important that even, when we have those feelings like that we do get up and start moving and exercise, because we do feel better and we feel more energized when we do that. And then here's the rest and managing stress, making sure that we are sleeping well at night and that we're managing the stress that comes our way through the many things that are always coming towards us. We have a lot of things, a lot of responsibilities. And so learning how to manage those, and then reducing toxic load, which we've talked about over the last couple weeks, and then informed self-care and proactive medical care. So, and of course, we always talk about number one is your lifelong vitality. This is the foundation for good health. And I love the lifelong vitality, and I love the foundation of nutrition that it gives us, like in that first tier of the wellness pyramid. So we've got the Microplex VMZ, which is your vitamin minerals, the Z Omega, which is your healthy fats, that also has 9 different essential oils in it that are going to help with inflammation in the body. They're going to help with antioxidants, and just overall good health, to help our bodies to be able to function well. And then the Alpha CRS, kind of the Dr. Oz in a bottle, that has a bunch of different herbs and products, again, that are going to give the body health and wellness. And what I love about these products is that in my conversations with other people, it becomes so evident that when we're doing the lifelong vitality and we're using it regularly, that our bodies are going to function well and they're going to be able to do the things that they were created to do. We're going to have more energy. We're going to have less pain. Our fingernails are going to come in stronger. Our hair is going to come in thicker. All those awesome side effects that we hear. Our digestive system is going to work better. We're going to sleep better. All of those things. And when we can get that good foundation in play, then we're going to see good things. And so lifelong vitality is key to staying well. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through some of the different product lines that Doterra has and how they can help us through cold and flu season specifically. And then we're going to add some additional oils that you can add to these different lines to help support your body. And then we'll open that up for maybe some things that you have done personally, or stories, experiences you've had, and some tips that you have on how you've been able to use these products to stay well. So the first product line is the Breathe, the respiratory blend. So we've got the Breathe essential oil, they've got the roller bottle, the Breathe touch, the Breathe vapor stick, and then the respiratory drops. And these are going to be great for your respiratory support. So for like your cold, congestion, runny nose, all that kind of stuff. Breathe, so kind of going through here, I love the Breathe in a diffuser, especially if I have a cold or something like that. It's nice to run that during the night so that we can be breathing it in. It's another, and then you can also add it to put a little bit with like a coconut oil, rub it on your chest. And like with little kids, like with our younger daughter, We'll take like the touch. Before we had the touch, I would take like a coconut oil or a fraction of coconut oil, and I would rub it on her chest and then down her back, down her spine. That was a place that we were able to do that and help her. And then now that we've got that vapor stick, it's even easier because we can just take the vapor stick and be able to rub it on their chest and then down their backs. You can also put it like under your nose, on the bridge. You've got sinus stuff, you can rub it there as well. Just be careful of the eyes because it is kind of strong and it's got some vapors going. And then the respiratory drops, I love having just a handful of these, maybe not a handful, that sounds like a lot, but a good amount of them, just in my purse or in my kitchen, just accessible. So when I need them or I feel like I'm coming down with something, I can quickly use those. And so Breathe is it's in a lot of ways, I think it's kind of one of those gateway oils that people use to get introduced to the essential oils. I know my friend that many of you know, her name's Elaine. This was the oil that got her started. She had a son who had some seasonal discomfort going on, and so she started using the Breathe and had great results, and her young son was asking for it. And so that's when she thought, okay, there must be something to these oils. And so Breathe was one that they started with. And I know there's a lot of people who get started with the Breathe line of products. Okay, and then the next one is the OnGuard. We love OnGuard, and these are just a few of the OnGuard products that they had there that I wanted to present, because when I'm thinking about cold and flu season, these are the ones that I would go to. But I'd also like to add that they do have other products that I haven't shown, like the toothpaste, the cleaner concentrate, and the laundry soap, and all of that is part of just good and the foaming hand wash, and that is just part of good hygiene, making sure that we're washing our hands, making sure that we're keeping our counters and everything clean. And so OnGuard can work as a preventative that way. So again, the OnGuard line is very much like the Breathe line, in that, like the OnGuard, I love to diffuse that one, and I love to use that one as a preventative. So putting it in the diffuser in the morning when you're getting ready for work, or and then when you're coming home. So I'd love to put the OnGuard on when my kids are coming home to kind of like debug them, to like get rid of all the yucky bugs that they brought home from school. Because every Thursday I go in and do spelling tests for the first graders in my daughter's class, and they're pretty gross, honestly. These little 7-year-olds, they like to do the whole, anyways, and they like cough into everything. So it's nice to have the OnGuard to kind of de-germ everything. And then they've got the OnGuard beadlets, which I love. That's something I love to have with me. And same with the OnGuard throw drops. Like, they're just always with me, so that if I'm in a crowded space, whether it's at a school or at a grocery store or on an airplane or at a concert or a performance, whatever it is, when I start hearing the coughing and sneezing and all of that, I can just kind of pop an OnGuard beadlet or use the throat drops as a preventative to kind of protect me from everything that's around. And then the OnGuard Plus, that is my #1 go-to when I feel like I might be getting sick or I've got kind of a sore throat or something going on. I like to do the OnGuard Plus. And so something you could take once a day, or if you get in the throes of a cold, then it's something that you can take every hour. I know that Linda Grove has shared that when she does have a cold, she puts those OnGuard Plus right by her water, and every time she goes to get a drink of water, she takes an OnGuard Plus. And that's what I love, is we can use these preventatively, but then when we're in the throes of something, we can use it more often to help support our bodies through it. Another thing I like to do, especially if I'm home or kind of sedentary during the day and I feel like I'm getting something, I love to put OnGuard in some warm water. And you could add a little bit of lemon or honey and drink it like a tea. And it's a nice thing to kind of sip on through the day. Is there anything you want to add about OnGuard?
Just the laundry detergent and the cleaner concentrate. I heard you mention the cleaner concentrate. Yeah. Well, while we're on OnGuard, a great thing that would help or be beneficial for your body's immune system is the aroma touch technique, of which OnGuard is one of the 8 oils that is utilized to support the immune system. So if you're feeling down, in fact, when Tiffany was just talking about how she was feeling down and wore out during those snow days, an aroma touch receiving an aroma touch technique would have been fantastic. And were I a good husband, I would have done that. But I'm not a good husband. Just ask her.
No, he's good. He held down the fort for me. No, he's good. But yes, definitely the aroma touch is a great thing that we can do to help support our body and bring it back into balance. Okay, and then we're going to jump to the next one. Okay, so I have to say, you know, it's like I don't like getting sick and having colds, but hands down, the digestive yucky flu is by far my worst. Like I can deal with coffee, runny nose, but anyways, maybe too much information, but I do not like digestive issues. They're gross, you know, with kids and stuff. Anyways, so the digestive blend, this is a great one for your digestive health. So whether things are slow or fast or whatever, these are ones that you can go to. And again, you got the Digestion oil that you can use. For kids, it's awesome because you can just rub it right on their tummy. You can rub it on their feet, and it's very effective. And then the Digest tabs, these are ones that you can chew on, kind of like a Tums. This is the equivalent, but it tastes like the Digestion, and it's great for stomach discomfort. And then you have the Digestion soft gel. So if you're not a big fan of the taste of the Digestion, you can use the soft gels, and they're just as effective, and you don't have to worry about the taste of them. And so these are great. Another one that I didn't add here or on the future slides, but another one that I love to use for digestive support is ginger. I like to do that one. Same like when I talked about the OnGuard, putting a little bit of ginger in warm water. And again, you could add a little bit of lemon if you want. I like lime. Ginger and lime together are really good. And just kind of sip on it. I'm a big fan of drinking water and helping to flush the digestive system so that it can stay clean and well. And anyway, the ginger is another great digestive oil that you can use. And then this one, okay, so serious immune support. So we talked a little bit about the OnGuard and the Breathe, and then the Melaleuca, lemon, frankincense, oregano, and I would add peppermint. They call that one the flu bomb, and that is the group of oils that you can put together in soft gels, and you can take those internally if you're feeling sick. Or Dr. Stoyer, he is what is he, like a?
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
Or
orthodontic surgeon.
Orthodontic surgeon. And he likes to put those ones, he'll get a steaming mug of water. So fill a mug, microwave it, boil it, however you want, get it really, really hot. And then you can add the essential oils to it. So add your Melaleuca, your lemon, your frankincense, oregano, and you can add peppermint too. And then just kind of gently breathe it in. Those vapors are going to be really, really strong, but it's something you can breathe in to get some respiratory support. A friend of mine, Anne, she shared a video of her son doing this, and I love it because they put this pair of ski goggles over his eyes so that the vapors wouldn't hurt his eyes. And I thought, oh, what a good idea. So get your ski goggles out, you know, boil these oils and just gently breathe them in, and it's going to help open up those airways and give you some support for respiratory things that are going on, or cold and flu. So these are some powerhouse oils. The oregano, let me point that one out really quick. Oregano, they call that one nature's best natural antibiotic. It's a really hot oil, so be careful with it, but it's a really powerful oil that we can use in supporting our bodies through cold and flu season. It's one that you can put on the bottom of your feet. If you have a sore throat, it's one that you can put in like a shot glass with a little bit of water, maybe lemon, honey, I don't know, however you want to do it. But I would gargle with it and swallow it. It's going to work really great for those sore throats. But it is hot, so no going in that it's hot. It's really hot.
Yep.
Okay, and then I wanted to just share another slide with some extra oils that to kind of add to everything. So we like to add, when you're doing the Breathe, like for respiratory support, and an oil that we like to add to that is lime. So Breathe and lime. I'm not sure why these two work together so well, but they really do. Lime, kind of like lemon, they're really good at cleansing, and they're really good at junk and mucus that can build up. And so it helps to kind of break it down and clean it out. So doing the Breathe and lime combination is really good. And then the peppermint, we talked about that a little bit with the flu bomb and breathing that in. Another good one to use for respiratory support is straight eucalyptus. while eucalyptus is in the Breathe blend, sometimes using the eucalyptus in addition to the Breathe or even separately can be really effective. And then thyme is one of those cool oils. It's like oregano, very much like oregano, but it's more mild and it's not quite as hot. But it's I would say equally as effective as oregano, just a little bit more mild. And then cardamom. There is cardamom in the Breathe, and I know maybe Denise will talk about this, but I've heard her talk about how they'll use the Breathe respiratory blend, but then they'll add cardamom on top of that for additional support. And then Melissa's one of those. It is truly a powerhouse oil. We had a friend of ours who shared a story the other day. It's actually probably been a couple weeks ago, where she had a cold and wasn't feeling very good, and she put that Melissa to use, and she was so surprised with how quickly it helped her body. This is one that they say is very antiviral, kind of like, and it is in the OnGuard Plus. You get the black pepper and Melissa and the oregano in the OnGuard Plus. And so Melissa by itself, again, is just another oil that you can use to kind of boost the effects of the other oils and get some extra, kick to what you're doing.
A boost.
A boost. So I am going to open this up. If anybody wants to share some of their own tips and tricks and what they do when they feel like you're getting a cold or when you're in the middle of a cold, to be able to get the support that you need with the oils. Does anybody want to share? All right. Oh, there's Katie. Katie.
So I think my main go-to is OnGuard. That was my gateway oil, one of them. And so I use it year round, but just kind of double up on it this time of year. And I think it's helpful to find ways, because you can look at all the products or just see the oil. It's really good to find a way that it fits into your routine. And the way that we put it to use, I leave a bottle next to my son's bed. So that's where I'm tucking him in, and that's where he's putting on his shoes in the morning. So this goes on his feet before bed and on his feet before his socks go on. So that's one little layer of OnGuard in his world. And I like to tell people that, unlike synthetic medicines, essential oils a lot of times have beneficial side effects, whereas synthetics will have negative side effects or unwanted side effects. And the side effect to putting this on his feet is that his feet smell like this. And 12-year-old boy, and they would not smell like this otherwise. So that's a bonus. And then on the way to school, I have this. I throw into a little basket lip balm and lotion and OnGuard beadlets. So on the way to school, he's putting on lip balm and he's putting lotion on his hands. And we each take one of these. And you could take 2 or 3, but I feel like one is potent enough for my 12-year-old. So on the way to school, that's, and I try to get him to aim it to the back of his throat because he doesn't love the taste of it. But this is a 1/4 drop of OnGuard. So 1/4 of what he would get if I were to drop this in under his tongue or in his hand. So it's just a little bit, and there's even a little bit of sweetener in here, I think, like xylitol. So it's, maybe not delicious, but we do this every day, every night, and that helps us stay well.
That's awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. And it does help you stay well. Like when I look back over the last 5 years, 6 years of being in Doterra with the essential oils, it's been awesome to look at our track record. And I know that using the essential oils has kept our kids well and healthy. And I love how you talked about that preventative, put it on your feet every day, put it on your feet before bed every day. And it's those little things that we do, right, over time that help us to stay well. Does anybody else have another story or experience or some tips that they have? Yeah, Denise.
Yes, I'll tell you about this weekend. Devin wasn't feeling well on Sunday, and then I started noticing on Saturday night. I was starting to get a really scratchy throat and stuffy nose, and I was like, oh, I am not getting this. I do not want this stuff that's going around. So I just really doubled up on the OnGuard Plus. This is probably my main go-to if I start feeling something coming on, like as you would talk about, Tiffany. But I was taking 2 every like 3 hours. I would start in the evening on Saturday, and then also my ears. When I start with a cold, my ears start clogging up. So I was taking this every couple hours, and I was using the basil oil along with lavender, just to kind of, if it was a little bit painful, but using the basil around my ears and the back of my ears all the way down to my throat. And I did that, every few hours also. And so then I woke up Sunday. I woke up, I think, during the night and just repeated it. And then Sunday morning, I woke up feeling pretty good. And then after church, and of course I put it on before church, so I'm sure it wasn't the greatest smell with basil at church. But so then when I came home, I started feeling, oh, that throat's kind of coming back. And I just repeated it, and I never got really sick, just that short amount of time. So I think once you just really get on and stay consistent, if you are getting something, it really helps.
That's awesome. Oh, that is so good. Thank you for sharing that. That's so good, because it's that consistency over and over and over. And it's fun because I think it's fun that you can have a cold be a 24, 48-hour deal instead of a week to 10 days.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times when we hear about our friends who are sick that don't have the oils, they'll be out for several days. And so to be able to shorten the duration of a cold, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Yay. Thank you, Denise, for sharing that. I appreciate it. Does anybody else have any experiences or stories they want to share for immune support in the oils? What they've done? Let's see. Okay. Do you have a story? Okay. All right. Okay. We'll keep going here. Yeah, I think we've covered what we want to cover. I feel like the greatest tip that I could share with all of these products is exactly what Denise talked about, in that consistency. It's like as soon as you start feeling sick, just to use those every hour and be consistent with the usage of it, and then it'll help support your body through it. So very good. Thank you, everybody, for helping and for sharing. The next thing I want to share is the book. This is an amazing resource to go to, especially at 2 in the morning when you wake up not feeling well, or your ears or your digestive system or whatever's going on. This is a good book to find additional ideas and support. And when you see all the different oils that are listed there, use the ones that you have. Be consistent with the ones that you have, and then maybe try some extra ones here and there as you go. Anyways, these are great resources that you can use as you are dealing with cold and flu season. And then this month, and then through February, we still have a whole another month, yay, of the New Year, New You promotion. And this is a great opportunity to share the essential oils with our family and friends when they become a member and they do a 100 PV order. And then they follow that with a loyalty reward order the next month of 100 PV. They can get 100 points that they can redeem for products that they want on their doTERRA wish list. And this is such a great program and a great way to encourage our friends to set up their membership and to pick a kit and start using the oils. And it's a great time of year because there is a lot of cold and flu stuff going on, and to be able to offer those natural solutions, because people are looking for the essential oils. They're looking for something that is going to be safe. They're looking for something that's going to be effective and really less expensive. I mean, when you think about how much a doctor visit costs, that one doctor visit could pay for a family essentials kit. And so we really do offer better solutions here.
I was just going to say, for the local team,
oh yeah,
with the event that's occurring on the 4th of February, if you bring somebody who is new to that and they enroll as a result of being there, this promotion works for them as well, but instead of getting 100 points, they get 200 points. We just got an email about that today.
Yep. Yeah, so if you know somebody who wants 200 PV in free product points for setting up their wholesale membership, please invite them to come to that February 4th event down at the Boise Center on the Grove from 9 to noon. And I know that the content of those 3 hours is going to be so good. We got Dr. Laura Laura Langfit coming to talk about adrenals. Melody Watts will be there talking about hormones and emotions. And then Tori Parker from Doterra will be there talking about the lifelong vitality. So if you want to learn more about what is in that and what it's doing to help support our bodies, it's going to be a really great day. And then in addition to the New Year, New You promotion, Eric and I are starting the Doterra Diamond Club. It starts tomorrow. February 1st is day 1. And we are so excited to participate in this program for you and to help you be able to share the oils with other people and for them to be able to enjoy some extra freebies. And so with a 100 PV enrollment in February, they can get a free grapefruit. And then when they do that 100 LRP the next month to get the 100 in free products, they can also get an extra 25 points. So we have some extra freebies that we can offer over the next 4 months, and we'll keep you posted on those. But we're really excited about the opportunity to be able to share the oils, and they really are a gift. And, you know, when I travel and when I'm using even the oils for myself and my family, I'm just so grateful to have the essential oils, because I can't imagine life without them. You know, when my kids are sick or I'm sick or I see somebody a friend, I love being able to offer the essential oils my friends. It's just, there's just nothing like it, being able to offer these natural solutions. And I can't remember if I shared this story or not, so if I did, you can hear it twice. But a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine heard a little guy kept waking up in the middle of the night. So for like 3 weeks in a row, he was waking up at 2 in the morning, just screaming, having nightmares. Then it was taking about an hour and a half for her to help settle him down. And as we were talking, I asked her if she'd used essential oils before and if she'd be interested in trying them. Anyway, she came over and we gave her a diffuser to try. And then we did vetiver on his big toe, and we had her diffusing the Serenity. And on the first night, I texted her the next morning and asked how he's doing, and she said he had woke up whimpering, but then he'd gone back to sleep. And then the next day, before I could text her, she texted me and said he slept through the night. And that continued on for the next week. And it's just such a good reminder to me that we have something really powerful here that we can share with other people, and we can use them for so many different things. So anyways, that's just a quick story. So anyways, and of course, I love to share this last slide, because when we get our wholesale member, yes, we become members of Doterra, and yes, we can take advantage of the loyalty rewards program and get all these extra free products. And but to me, the most important part of all this is being able to be part of a community, to have a group of people who come together to support and encourage each other. And it's a place where we can learn and share ideas together, whether that's through our Learning Community Facebook page, whether it's through events, through Zoom classes like this. We have an opportunity to come together to support each other in life and in our families and as friends. So anyways, that is an awesome bonus, and it's one that I absolutely love being a part of, and love that each of you are part of this community as well. And so anyways, that is what we'd like to share tonight about cold and flu season and some different oil ideas. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
There's all sorts of stuff, but we don't want this thing to go on and on. Quick thing, I just learned today, one of the mechanisms that these essential oils utilize in order to stop or slow down a bacterial infection, for example, is it enhances an enzyme that actually prevents the bacteria from reproducing. So an antibiotic like penicillin, for example, doesn't actually kill the bacteria. What it does is it neuters it, or it prevents it from reproducing very quickly. And as a result of the infection rate slowing down, the body then can take care of the infection. And so the essential oils, whether it's OnGuard or frankincense or lavender or melaleuca or oregano or all of these other ones that we've talked about, what it does is it behaves similarly to an antibiotic in that it prevents the infection from spreading by, you could say, neutering or removing the reproductive ability of the bacteria. I just think that's pretty cool.
There you go. So on that, we will say good night and happy oiling as you stay healthy and well over this awesome winter season.